Hey guys, John with Texas Canine Rehab here. Today we are hanging out with Mickey. Mickey has separation anxiety and he has general anxiety overall. And what we're going to be talking about today is how to deal with anxiety with your dog, how to recognize it, and how to address it. One of the most common things that happens is the whining. If your dog is whining from anxiety, you really don't want to acknowledge that. You want to just ignore it. You don't have to correct it or do anything negative. It may be an instinct to you to want to comfort the dog and tell the dog he's okay. But for a dog, that sort of enables him and makes him feel like there is something to be afraid of. So we want to show him that there's nothing to be afraid of, that we're calm, and he will work through his anxiety on his own. Right now, he's not being anxious because he's focused on the treats that I have in my hand. I have these treats because we're going to be working with him on crate training and place command. Place command is really good for your dog, even if they don't have anxiety, because it helps you gain control of your dog and it helps to show your dog how to calm down. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna put the leash on Mickey. And Mickey loves to work, especially with treats. He's really food motivated. So if you do have a dog that is food motivated, like most of them are, then go ahead and use treats to your advantage. If this is the first time going on to a platform like this or a bed or something, remember, you're not trying to push them to stay there for 10 minutes. That's sort of the end game. But in the beginning, we just want to show them, look, you can go on the thing at all. You even go there for just a couple seconds. You're going to get rewarded for it. Then when we do it again, we'll add a few more seconds. Then we'll add 30 seconds. Then we'll add several minutes. And eventually, we want our dogs to be able to stay there for quite a while. Place. He's been there for a few seconds. Free. Good boy. So that's really how you do it in the beginning. It's just an experience of them putting their paws on the place and getting a treat for it, seeing that it was a positive thing. I like to use the word free instead of okay, because we use the word okay a lot in conversation. So we'll go ahead and do that again. Place. If he tries to get off, you're just putting a little pressure on the leash so he stays there. You don't say no, you don't do anything negative, you just put him right back. Free. Good boy. Crate training is a really important thing to do with your dog, especially if they have anxiety and definitely if they have separation anxiety. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna put the leash on him, put him in there. He'll stay in there for a short period of time. We'll make sure that he's calm in there. And then while he's being calm, we'll let him out and we'll give him a reward. And then every time we put him in the crate, we'll have him stay in there a little bit longer so that eventually we can put him in the crate and leave him there for a while. And I'm gonna say, kennel. If they don't go in, it's okay to kind of help them out with the leash. So now that he is in there, I'm gonna make sure that I don't really look at him, don't really talk to him, not really give him a whole lot of attention, because I don't wanna excite him in there, and I want him to see that I don't really want anything in particular from him. I don't care if he sits or if he lays down or if he looks around. If he wants to get up and adjust himself, that's fine. You don't just wanna put them in the crate the first time and then walk out of your house and hope for the best. He might have a really bad experience, could get himself hurt. Make sure you get this down first, where they're doing good in the crate for at least a few minutes with you in the room. If they're having a really hard time in the crate, make sure you don't let them out, because then they'll learn if they have that behavior, that is what gets them out of the crate. And it'll make it even harder for you to teach them to be in the crate. It's really all about making sure that you don't reward the unwanted behavior and that you catch the good behavior so that you can reward it. So he starts whining. In most cases, what most people would do there is they would look at him, tell him everything's okay. And if you are going to talk to him, it has to be whenever he's calm. We definitely don't want to be positive with their anxiety, because that will just distract them for a moment and they'll go right back to being anxious. For dogs, it's really weird for them to be left alone. They are pack animals, so if we leave them completely alone, especially if there's no other dog or cat in the house and they truly feel alone, then it is very common and really even normal for them to get anxious about that. So he was very calm for 45 seconds. That panting wasn't there, and that's the case. Do not let them out of the crate. Do not acknowledge them. Do not reward them, positive or negative, if they're being anxious in the crate. Wait it out. Be patient. Right now, he's excited that he's out of the crate, so I don't want to pet him too much right now because that could re-trigger his anxiety. So stick with this, follow through with it, and you'll get what you're looking for. So what we're gonna do is he's gonna have to stay there until I say he can come off, and we'll give him a break, and then we will go in the crate and make sure he does good in the crate. He's definitely made some improvement. So he's been here for a few minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him off free. Good boy. Kennel. Give him a little help. And I'm gonna take his leash off. I'm gonna give him a treat for going in. In the beginning, whenever we first started working with him, you could see that he was super anxious, and it took quite a while for him to finally calm down. He would get triggered really easily just from me walking out of the room and walking back in. As far as that week goes, the first 2 days were really most of the work to get him from being super anxious to almost no anxiety at all, just by using the same technique, not acknowledging bad behavior or unwanted behavior and acknowledging the good behavior. He's already doing great. What we want is we want him to be relaxed. Good boy, Mickey. So whenever you first saw Mickey, he was screaming and barking, and he just thought it was the end of the world. But we applied this technique where we ignore the unwanted behavior and subtly reward good behavior. And it's really that simple. Where most people go wrong using this technique and in general is they just don't have patience. The first time you do this technique will be the longest and the hardest. And then the next time you do it won't be quite so hard. The third time you do it, you're gonna be saying, okay, this is working, we're making progress. And then before you know it, you have a calm dog that's not crying anymore. He hasn't cried at all today, and that's from working with him for just 1 week, and he's doing great. He's a good boy.